All right, good evening, everybody. How are you? Greenbox, where nature and the arts unite. So, if you get a little wet, what's going to happen? Rain never bothered me anyway. Um, Jessica Fichot and the band are here on the stage. And I'm so thrilled that you are here to hear them and that they are here to delight you. Obviously, we're looking at the clouds, and I know you're feeling it. So if for some reason we need to take an early intermission because it starts raining heavily, or we need to take a little rain delay pause, Jessica and Matt, our fabulous sound guy, are sort of in charge. They'll make the call. And if you need to take cover somewhere, there are little awnings and overhangs and things. And we're going to have a great time. You ready for some fabulous music tonight? Jessica Fichot!
Entre la défense et opéra, la foule se tasse, des gens se poussent. Pousse pour entrer tous ensemble dans le dernier wagon du train qui mélange en secouant les SDF, les belles femmes, les jeunes couples. Couplés, leurs enfants qui braillent au-dessus du grincement des rails. Oui, Paris est si joli, vu d'en dessous du sol. Les étrangers sont si polis, sans geste et sans parole. Entre la poussière et les mégots, on se rapproche sans le vouloir dans le métro. J'ai été secoué dans la mêlée comme si plongé dans de l'eau vive. Vivement que train s'arrête et que je puisse enfin descendre pendant qu'un étranger sans se gêner soudain se sort une cigarette. Aide d'un côté les gens dit une maman à son enfant. Et Paris est si joli, vu d'en dessous du sol. Les étrangers sont si polis, sans geste et sans parole. Entre la poussière et les mégots, on s'approche sans le vouloir dans le métro. Oui, Paris est si joli, vu d'en dessous du sol. Les étrangers sont si polis, sans geste et sans parole. Entre la poussière et les mégots, on se rapproche sans le vouloir dans le métro. Et quelque part près du penseur, un étranger, sourire aux lèvres, il me regarde pendant qu'au loin les chants départent. Une seconde de complicité et tout le reste peut s'effacer. Il n'y a que moi, il n'y a que lui dans tout Paris. Car Paris est si joli, vu d'en dessous du sol. Les étrangers sont si polis, sans geste et sans parole. Entre la poussière et les mégots, on se rapproche sans le vouloir dans le métro. Merci beaucoup, thank you. My name is Jessica Fichot, and it's so great to be here in beautiful Green Mountain Falls. We're so excited. The band and I traveled from Los Angeles to play for you today. And I know as residents of Southern California, we're always so excited to see rain because it's so rare for us. But I would say this one time, I think we'd be okay with not seeing it in the next couple hours. I think I could speak for everybody on stage, like, next couple hours, we don't really need to see it. So I live in Los Angeles now, but I grew up in close to Paris in France, and I've always liked to sing in many, many languages. I like to sing in French because that's the language I grew up speaking. I like to sing in Mandarin Chinese because that's one of the languages my mom spoke growing up. I like to sing in Spanish because that's a very useful language in California. And once in a blue moon, I'll sing in English. And this next song is a song in English. It's called Golden Earrings. It was originally sung by Peggy Lee, and it's from a movie of the same name. Maybe some of you have seen it. On this song, I'm going to play a little instrument, a little percussion instrument. Some of you may recognize it. What is it? The spoons. So this version of the spoons is easier to play than the regular spoons because it's attached together, right? Real spoon players, I'm only an amateur spoon player. Real spoon players know how to play real spoons. But I hope you'll forgive this. This is Golden Earrings. Chloe just informed me very discreetly that my tag was out, and I made it not discreet by talking about it. One, two, three, four. There's a story that gypsy know is true, that when your love wears golden earrings, he belongs to you. A true love story that's known to very few. And when you wear those golden earrings, love will come to you. By the burning fire they will glow, with every crow you will hear desire whisper low inside your soul. So be my gypsy, make love your guiding light, and let this pair of golden earrings cast your spell tonight. By the burning fire they will glow, with every coal you will hear desire whisper low inside your soul. So be my gypsy, make love your guiding light, and let this pair of golden earrings cast your spell tonight, and let this pair of golden earrings cast their spell tonight. Thank you. So as I mentioned a few minutes ago, my mom is originally from Shanghai, China. And there's a lot of songs that came out of Shanghai in the 20s, 30s, and 40s that mixed European-style jazz and Chinese singing. And this next song is one of the examples of that. It's a song from 1949. It's called chanson. I think I'm pronouncing this correctly. I'm not very good with the tones. It means ode to spring. And it's jazz from Shanghai is kind of its own feel. It's kind of similar to 1930s, 1940s jazz from Europe, but it's a little bit more bouncy. and it's in Chinese. So here it is. This is Ode to Spring. 春色无边，春繁荣，春花灿烂如锦绣，人生难有机会相守，记住这宝贵的时候，春水荡漾，漫漫里哦，春光如梦不可留，人生难有机会相守，记住这宝贵的时候，但愿那春花长如胸，但愿那明月长当头，花长好，月长圆，花蕊圆圆熟，春色无边，春繁荣，春花灿烂如锦绣，人生难有机会相守，记住这宝贵的时候。Chloe on Rain Dawn Clarinet. 当得赞如胸，但愿那明月长当头，花长好，月长圆，花蕊圆圆熟，春色无边，春繁荣，春花灿烂如锦绣，人生难有机会相守，记住这宝贵的时候。谢谢大家 ，Thank you。All right, we keep on hesitating. We're going to continue until we are going to do. Is this right? Yeah. Okay. We're going to do a song of mine called Berceuse bancale. Berceuse is the French word for lullaby, and bancale it doesn't have quite an equivalent in English. It's the way you describe a chair or a table that has a leg that's a little shorter than the other, so it's a little unsteady. I guess lopsided would be the closest term. And on this lopsided lullaby, I'm going to play this little instrument here, which is a toy piano. And the song talks about the uncertainties of being a new parent. Moi qui ne plie pas le linge, un sourire élégant comme le font les mamans. Moi qui ne promets pas d'un geste rassurant que je serai les méchants. Comment je pourrais percer quand la nuit est tombée? Comment te protéger? Comment te consoler? Comment même dans le noir quand on ne peut rien voir, je ne suis pas rassurée. Et qu'après même tout ce temps, c'est moi qui sois l'enfant. Moi qui traîne mes pas entre mes robes sales et mes chaises bancales. Moi qui ne sais toujours rien du système décimal, du bien et du mal. Comment Comment je pourrais t'élever avec toute ma malchance sans cesser d'hésiter, plein d'incohérences que je manque à mieux à la vie, mon blotti dans mon lit entouré de coussins. Moi qui suis si abîmée, que pourrais-je te donner? Si mes baisses et bancales, me pardonneras-tu le mal, les regrets de te donner une maman qu'à moitié, toi ma responsabilité, pourras-tu me pardonner si ma berceuse est abîmée? Si ma baisse est bancale, me pardonneras-tu le mal, les regrets de te donner une maman qu'à moitié, toi ma responsabilité, pourras-tu me pardonner si ma berceuse est abîmée? Yadadidam, padadidam, padadidam. Padadidam, padadadi, yadadada, yadidadadam. Padadidam, padadidam, padadidam. Padadidam, padadam. Alors quand je serai vieille et que tu auras grandi, toi l'enfant si joli, j'aurais fait de mon mieux sans aucune garantie, tu sois plus réussi. Alors je montrerai moi-même dans ton petit verso, je laisse m'expliquer avec tes propres mots tout ce que par moi-même, par bêtise ou par flemme, je n'ai jamais compris. Même avec tout mon amour quand tu as vu le jour, même avec tout mon amour quand tu as vu le jour, même avec tout mon amour quand tu as vu le jour. Merci. I think some of you may know this next song. It's a French song, or originally a French song called La Mer, written by Charles Trenet. But it was translated in English and it made famous by, who made it famous? Frank Sinatra, with the title Somewhere Beyond the Sea. So we're going to do a bilingual version of this song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. La mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs a des reflets d'argent. La mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie. La mer qu'au ciel d'été confond ses blancs moutons avec des anges si purs. La mer, bergère d'azur infinie. Voyez près des étangs ces grands roseaux mouillés. Voyez la mer les a bercés le long des golfes clairs et d'une chanson d'amour. La mer a bercé mon cœur pour la vie. beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing somewhere beyond the sea. She's there waiting for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing.
Voyez,
It's far,
près des étangs,
beyond
ces
the
grands roseaux mouillés.
sun. It's near beyond the moon.
Voyez,
I know,
ces oiseaux blancs
beyond
et ces roseaux mouillés.
my heart,
La mer
we'll meet,
les a bercés
beyond
le
the shore.
long des golfes clairs
And kiss just before,
et d'une chanson d'amour. La mer
beyond.
a bercé mon cœur pour la vie.
I'll go sailing
Pour la vie,
beyond the shore.
pour la vie.
You knew Chloe could play rained on clarinet, rained on saxophone. She can sing as well. So next we're going to do a classic song from Shanghai. I think it's one of the most popular songs in China, which means it's probably one of the most famous songs in the world, considering there's a lot of people who live in China. This is a very typical song from Shanghai, particularly. In fact, it's so popular in Shanghai that when I go to Shanghai, I like to go to this little store that sells, souvenirs. And the first time I went to Shanghai, I went to that store. They were playing that song. So I was like, oh, this is great. And then I went back 2 years later, and they were playing that song. And then I went back, I think a year later, and they were still playing that song. And I mean not just playing it occasionally, that's the only song they were playing. So I think this song is very popular in China, but maybe not very popular with the people who work in the store. The song is called Ye Lai Xiang, which means night jasmine. One, two, three.
那风起来新娘，那夜莺低声起床，为说的花儿打入梦，拥抱着夜来香，吐露着芬芳。我爱这夜色漫漫，也爱这夜莺歌唱，为说的花儿打入梦，拥抱着夜来香。闻着夜来香，夜来香，我为你歌唱。夜来香，我为你思量。啊，我为你歌唱，我为你思量。 起来新娘，那夜莺低声起床，月刷的花儿打入梦，拥抱着夜来香，吐露着芬芳。我爱这夜色漫漫，也爱这夜莺歌唱，月刷的花儿打入梦，拥抱着夜来香，闻着夜来香，夜来香，我为你歌唱，夜来香，我为你思量，啊，我为你歌唱，我为你思量，夜来香，夜来香，夜来香，夜来香，夜来香。谢谢大家 ，Thank you。So some of you might know this next song if you've watched the movie, the Pixar movie Coco. It's one of the songs that kind of became this, was one representative of Dia de los Muertos. It's called La Llorona. And the story of La Llorona is very popular in Mexico. It's kind of a spooky ghost story that I won't tell you right now. You might be too spooked. So we're going to do a version of this song, La Llorona. One, two, three, Ay de mí, llorona, 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 de azul celeste. Ay de mí, llorona, 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 de azul celeste. Aunque la vida me cueste, llorona, no dejaré de quererte. No dejaré de quererte, llorona, aunque la vida me cueste. Dicen que no tengo duelo, llorona, porque no me ven llorar. Dicen que no tengo duelo, llorona, porque no me ven llorar. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido, llorona, y más grandes son sus penas. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido, llorona, y más grandes son sus penas. Ay de mí, llorona, 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 llévame al río. Ay de mí, llorona, 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 llévame al río. Tápame con tu rebozo, llorona, porque me muero de frío. Tápame con tu rebozo, llorona, porque me muero de frío. Dicen que no tengo duelo, llorona, porque no me ven llorar. Dicen que no tengo duelo, llorona, porque no me ven llorar. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido, llorona, y más grandes son sus penas. Hay muertos que no hacen ruido, llorona, y más grandes son sus penas.
Gracias. Thank you. So next we're going to do a song of mine. This is a song called Je suis un génie, which means I'm a genius. And it talks a little bit about the songwriting process. So when I'm writing a song, I go from, I start writing and I think, oh, this is kind of a cool idea. And then I continue writing and I think, this is not really good. I think I'm going to throw it away. And then sometimes if I kind of press on, move on and continue on my first idea, there's a moment where I think, wow, this is the best song I've ever written. I'm actually a genius. So this song is kind of, the ups and downs of the songwriting process. And for this song, I'm actually going to require you to learn some French words so you can kind of repeat them after me during this song. It's going to be very basic. Actually, let's start with the most basic word, in case you don't know it already. How do you say good day or good morning in French? Bonjour, you already know it. How do you say a more casual way to say good day? Like when you see a friend, you usually don't say good day. Salut, salut, which sounds like salute, right? How do you say the word yes? Oui. How do you say but yes, but yes? Mais oui, you already know it. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. You guys are so good. I'm going to teach you a harder one. We're going to do the same thing. We do mais oui. Oui, mais oui, mais non. Let's try it. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. That's good, actually. That illustrates the song, Yes, this is a good song. No, it's not a good song. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. All right, let's try it. You can actually sing or you can speak it. But either way, you're going to have to do that loud.
Parfois, j'ai une mélodie qui me démange. Quelques paroles que je gribouille sur le coin d'une liste de courses. Un petit couplet un peu timide, un reflet peut-être un peu étrange. C'est comme une graine, il faut que ça germe, il faut que ça pousse. Et là, ça vient comme un déclic, la soudaine vague d'une inspiration presque ludique. Je suis un génie, je crée la magie du bout de ma voix. Personne nulle part de tous les temps n'a jamais pu penser à ça, sauf moi. Je suis un génie, j'ai comme une manie la composition. Du bout de l'Argentine jusqu'à la Chine, on chantera tous ma chanson. Comme c'est ingénieux, ma mélodie, c'est fantastique, c'est une énième, parce que suffisante, je dirais même qu'elles sont brillantes quand je chante de ma voix grave. Comme c'est contagieux, mais c'est d'accord que je le talent du sonore, c'est inventif ma pression et j'entends bien l'orchestration. Cet instant, je me dis qu'enfin, j'ai écrit quelque chose de plutôt bien. Mais oui. Mais oui. Mais si, je suis un génie. Mais oui. Oui. Mais oui. Mais si, je suis un génie. Et puis, soudain, un sentiment inconfortable. Est-ce que j'ai entendu ce refrain au guichet d'une station-service? En fait, c'est nul, c'est pitoyable. Pas même une note utilisable. C'est ça l'inspiration, ça sait faire des caprices. Et là, je me dis, c'est insensé. Il y a quelques minutes, ce que j'ai pu penser. Je suis un génie, je crée la magie du bout de ma voix. Personne nulle part de tous les temps n'a jamais pu penser à ça, sauf moi. Je suis un génie, j'ai comme une manie la composition. Du bout de l'Argentine jusqu'à la Chine, on chantera tous ma chanson.
Comme c'est ingénieux, ma mélodie, c'est fantastique, tu me dis, mais plus que suffisant, je dirais même qu'elles sont brillantes quand je les chante de ma voix grave. Comme c'est contagieux, je me suis d'accord, comme j'ai le talent du silence d'inventer ma potion, j'entends bien la frustration, c'est l'instant, je me dis qu'enfin, j'ai écrit quelque chose de plutôt bien. Mais oui, 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 mais oui, mais si je suis un génie. Mais oui, 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 mais oui, mais si je suis un génie. One more time. Mais oui, 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 mais oui, même si je suis un génie. One more time. Mais oui, 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 mais oui, mais si je suis un génie. Merci beaucoup, thank you. Let's skip Manli, let's do Chiburashka. Ni hukluži piširode paložem afatam pa asfaltu рекой. И неясно пророже в этой тени по коже, почему я тисю и такой. А я играю на гармошке у прохожих на виду. К сожалению, герощина только равгату. Приликидору волшебник с любовью далече и бесплатно покажет кино. С днем рождения остави и наверно остави не подари пиццу эскимо. А я играю на гармошке у прохожих на виду. К сожалению, герощина только равгату. Islas on a now dry guitar. Играю на гармошке у прохожих на виду. К сожалению, герощине только равгату. К сожалению, герощине только равгату. Спасибо, thank you. I think some of you might know this next song. If you do, you can sing along, but you don't sing better than me. It'll embarrass me. guys clapping, I was like, I think something is missing. Like, something feels wrong. One, two, three, four.
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never wanna let you go. 'Cause you started something, oh can't you see? That ever since we met you got a hold on me. It's crazy but it's true. I only wanna be with you. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. I only wanna spend another day with you. Oh look what has happened with just one kiss. I never thought that I could be in love like this. It's crazy but it's true. I only wanna be with you. You stopped and smiled at me, asked if I cared to dance. I fell into your open arms and I didn't stand a chance. Now hear me darling, I just wanna be beside you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, oh can't you see? And ever since we met, you got a hold on me. No matter what you do, I only wanna be with you. It's crazy, but it's true. I only wanna be with you. You stopped and smiled at me, asked if I cared to dance. I fell into your open arms, and I didn't stand a chance. Now hear me, darling, I just wanna be beside you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, oh can't you see? And ever since we met, you got a hold on me. It's crazy, but it's true. I only wanna be with you. No matter what you do, I only wanna be with you.
Thank you. We might have escaped the rain, maybe. We're going to do one more song for you, and then we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back for a shorter second set. And for those of you who are interested, I do have, and who still have CD players, I have CDs for sale. And I also have a little mailing list if you want to get a message next time we're playing the area. And I would really like to thank everybody at Green Box. Thanks so much. The welcome has been so amazing. We're going to do a song of mine called Le Secret. To quickly introduce the musicians who have traveled with me from Los Angeles to be here today. On upright bass, we have from Orange County, California, Jonathan Ahrens. Jonathan Ahrens. Oops, sorry. On guitar, we have Vincent Islas. On guitar. And on clarinet, tenor sax, and vocals, we have Chloe Fioranzo.
J'ai un secret qui me rend folle, qui me poursuit chaque jour, chaque nuit, comme une chanson, une mélodie, c'est un refrain qui se répète, mais sans couplet et sans intro. Qui me hante, le ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la. Si je le garde, je deviens folle, mais si je te le dis, je crois que je te perdrai. En clé de do, sans touche noire, c'est un fait simple et sans même mal. 4 voyelles et 3 consonnes, tu me le diras un jour peut-être. Moi je suis trop fière et je m'étais, non je ne serai pas la première. Ya la la la, ya la la la. Ce secret qui me hante, je le ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la. Si je le cache, je deviens folle, mais si je te le dis, je crois que je te perdrai. J'ai un secret qui me rend folle, qui me poursuit chaque jour, chaque nuit, comme une chanson, une mélodie, c'est un refrain qui se répète, mais sans couplet et sans intro, sans pont, sans corazon solo. Ya la, ya la la la. Ce secret qui me hante, le ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la. Si je le garde, je deviens folle. Ya la, ya la la la. Ce secret qui me hante, le ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la. Si je le garde, je deviens folle. Ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la. Si je le garde, je deviens folle, mais si je te dis, je crois que je te perdrai. Merci.
Thank you. We'll be back after a short break, after you've bought all my CDs. So we're going to do a song that I wrote that's a little sad. I wrote it kind of at the beginning of the pandemic, you know, when I was stuck indoors. And I was thinking, you know, this is not exactly what I thought the end of the world was going to be like. I didn't imagine the Zoom thing, personally. But I wrote this song called If My World Was Ending. And it's in English, so you'll understand the lyrics.
Would I call you if my world was ending? Would I be extending my heart to you then with nothing petty? No need to be clever if I knew I never could see you again, 'cause you are the first one always on my mind. So would you be my last thought if time left me? world was ending. Would I tell you that I loved our story and how much I'm sorry for the pride of my youth, memories fading, and life not an option? Then my final action could only be truth, that you are the first one always on my mind. So would you be my last thought if time left me with only what matters? If my world was ending.
Thank you. That was not the end of the song, but it's okay. We're going to continue with another sad song. This one was written by Antonio Carlos Jobim, a Brazilian guitarist and composer. And it's a song about the carnival. And the lyrics say, Tristeza não tem fim, felicidade é sim, which means sadness has no end, but happiness does. And it talks about how the carnival is this one day where you can be whatever you want and you can kind of forget your sorrows. So it's one day out of the year, and the rest of the year sucks. One, two, 3, 4.
Tristeza não tem fim, felicidade sim. A felicidade como a gota do orvalho numa pétala de flor. Brilla tranquila, depois del huevo oscila e cai como una lágrima de amor. A felicidade do pobre parece a grande ilusão de carnaval. A gente trabalha o ano inteiro por momento de sonho pra fazer a fantasia de rei ou de pirata, jardineira, e tudo se acaba na quarta-feira. A felicidade do pobre parece a grande ilusão de carnaval. A gente trabalha o ano inteiro por momento de sonho pra fazer a fantasia Jereyon, Jepirata, Jalinera. E todo se acaba na quarta-feira. E todo se acaba na quarta-feira. E tudo se acaba na quarta-feira.
Obrigada, thank you. Next, we are going to do a sailor song. Uh-oh. For some reason, sailor songs were a big thing during beginning of in 2020, but I actually sang that song way before this, so I was way ahead of my time. This song is, growing up, I thought it was a French song, and then I realized that it's actually an old English sea shanty that back in the 60s, the French songwriter Hugues Aufray took this famous English melody, and put French lyrics to the song. The name of the song is Santiano, and like a lot of sailor songs, there's a little bit of parts where I say something or I sing something, and you guys are gonna yell it back like sailors on a ship. You're gonna do that in English and in French. So in English, it's gonna be, I'm gonna say, heave away, heave away, heave away, heave away, heave away, heave away. And in French, you're gonna learn a very useful phrase, which is ICO, which means hoist the sail high. It could be a useful phrase if you want to impress people, I guess. ICO, 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 heave away, heave away. So heave her up and away we'll go, heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go. We're bound for California. C'est un fameux trois-mâts fin comme un oiseau. ICO, Santiano. 18 nœuds, 400 tonneaux. Je suis fière d'y être matelot. Tiens bon la vague, tiens bon le flot. ICO, Santiano. Si Dieu le veut, toujours droit devant, nous irons jusqu'à San Francisco. Je pars pour de longs mois en laissant Margot. ICO, Santiano. D'y penser, j'avais le cœur gros en doublant les feux de Saint-Malo. Tiens bon la vague, tiens bon le flot. ICO, Santiano. Si Dieu le veut, toujours droit devant, nous irons jusqu'à San Francisco. On nous dit que là-bas l'argent coule à flot. ICO, Santiano. On trouve l'or au fond des ruisseaux. J'en ramènerai plusieurs lingots. Tiens bon la vague, tiens bon le flot. ICO, Santiano. Si Dieu le veut, toujours droit devant, nous irons jusqu'à San Francisco. Un jour je reviendrai chargée de cadeaux. ICO, Santiano. Au pays, j'irai voir Margot. À son doigt, j'y passerai l'anneau. Tiens bon la vague, tiens bon le flot. Heave away, Santiano. Au pays, j'irai voir Margot. Nous irons jusqu'à San Francisco. Merci beaucoup, thank you. This next song is another song that was interpreted in at least 2 languages. It's a song called Dream a Little Dream of Me. So it's a classic American song, but in the 90s, a French singer, I think it was Enzo, she translated the lyrics to the English classic and made a popular French version. What I always found interesting about translating the lyrics is that you can't really translate them, right? You have to write new lyrics that kind of keep a similar feel. And for Dream a Little Dream of Me, the translator decided to call it Les yeux ouverts, which means open eyes. And instead of saying Dream a Little Dream of Me, which would be very weird translated in French, it's the lyrics say, I dream with open eyes. So here it is. This is a bilingual version of Dream a Little Dream of Me. Can you say bilingual version for a song? Does that mean the song has to speak 2 languages? One, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me while I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Je rêve les yeux ouverts, ça me fait du bien. Ça ne va pas plus loin. Je vais pas voir derrière puisque j'en viens. Vivement demain, oh oui demain, mon bonheur te ressemble. Tous les deux vous allez si bien ensemble. Je te le dirai jamais, jamais assez. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I am wanting to linger till dawn, dear, just saying this. Ce souvenir, je te prends. Des souvenirs comme ça, j'en veux tout le temps. Si par erreur la vie nous sépare, dream a little dream of me. Ya-da-da-da, ya-da-da-da.
Go directly to Le Grenier. Le Grenier, sorry. Un, deux, trois, quatre.
Et si on t'avait dit il n'y a pas si longtemps, quand tu étais enfant, du moins dans le cœur, ce que tu deviendrais? L'aurais-tu cru alors et le vois-tu maintenant? Comment tu as changé, comment si peu de temps tu es devenu grand. Dans tes miroirs, tes grandes fenêtres, tu te regardes sans jamais plus te reconnaître. Vivant souriant de chaque luxe que t'as acheté, au grand sacrifice de ton passé, pris dans ta routine, ton confort,
Un jour t'es monté au grenier, tu l'as rempli à rapport du garçon que t'étais. Et tes rêves et tes souvenirs, ils restent oubliés au grenier. Pourtant tu restes là, les pieds levés, sans jamais monter au grenier. Et pendant que tu t'amuses à compter les secondes, à être responsable, à dominer ton monde de choses matérielles, au grenier, le garçon qui avait tant de couleurs commence à s'effacer en regrettant les heures où il pouvait voir le ciel. Il ne vit que grâce ailleurs aux rêves d'aventure pris de poussière. En ignorant sa solitude par habitude et sans que jamais tu regardes en arrière, pris dans ta routine, ton confort, un jour t'es monté au grenier, tu l'as rempli à rapport du garçon que t'étais. Et tes rêves et tes souvenirs, ils restent oubliés au grenier. Pourtant tu restes là, les pieds levés, pris dans ta routine, ton confort. Un jour t'es monté au grenier, tu l'as rempli à rapport du garçon que t'étais. Et tes rêves et tes souvenirs, ils restent oubliés au grenier. Pourtant tu restes là, les pieds levés, sans jamais monter au grenier. Yada papira, yada papararira, yada papira, yada paparara, yada raria parara, yapararia, pamparam parapiara, yada papirara, yada papira, yada papararira, yada papira, yada paparara, yada raria parara, yapararia, pamparam parapiara, yada papira. Everybody together, yada papira, yada papararira. Yada papira, yada paparara, yada raria parara, yapararia, pamparam parapiara, yada papirara, yada papira, yada papararira, yada papira, yada paparara, yada raria parara, yapararia, pamparam parapiara. One more time now that you know the lyrics. Yada papira, yada papararira, yada papira, yada paparara. Yararia parara, yapararia, pamparam parapiara, yara papirarira, yara. We are going to continue with a Chinese song called Plum Blossom, Mei Hua. And this is one of those songs also written by Shanghai songwriters, kind of meant for ballroom dancing, actually. There's a lot of ballroom dancing in China. There's also kind of a ballroom place right here in front of this stage if you guys feel inspired to dance ballroom dancing. It's kind of a bolero groove. One, two, three.
笑一笑，心头烦恼。无人知，没人晓。经过了过雪冰霜，你才明了可怜的梅花它等待你的动心，让它笑一笑，心头烦恼。
谢谢大家 ，Thank you. We're going to continue with a classic French song called Le Poinçonneur des Lilas. And this song was written by a famous French songwriter called Serge Gainsbourg. And it's about the guy who checks for tickets in the subway. And he's kind of complaining about how monotonous his life is. He says his whole day, he's just takes the ticket, he puts a little hole in it, then he gives the person the ticket back. He says, that's all there is in my life. Des petits trous, little holes, little holes. I won't tell you the end of the song because it's too sad. I did the mistake once of telling people what the end of the song says, and then I regretted it immediately. So if you want to know the end of the story, you can either learn French and check out the song, or you can ask me after the show. I'll tell you. Just I won't do it in public. So this is Le Poinçonneur des Lilas. And you'll recognize in the song, des petits trous, little holes in the ticket. Un, deux, trois, quatre.
Je suis le poinçonneur des lilas, le gars qu'on croise et qu'on ne regarde pas. Y a pas de soleil sous la terre, drôle de croisière. Pour tuer l'ennui, j'en la veste, les extraits durs du geste. Et dans ce bouquin, y a écrit que dégasse la coule douce à Miami. Pendant ce temps que je fais le zouave au fond de la cave, paraît qu'il n'y a pas de sous-métier. Moi je fais des trous dans des billets. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, encore des petits trous. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, touche des petits trous. Des trous de première classe, des trous de seconde classe. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, touche des petits trous. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, encore des petits trous, 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 des petits trous. Je suis le poinçonneur des lilas, arts et métiers directs par le Valois. Je vis au cœur de la planète, j'ai dans la tête un carnaval de confettis, je n'emmène jusque dans mon lit. Et sous mon ciel de faïence, je ne vois briller que des correspondances. Parfois je rêve, je divague, je vois des vagues, et dans la brume au bout du quai, je vois un bateau qui me cherchait. Pour sortir de ce trou, je fais des trous, des petits trous, touche des petits trous. Mais le bateau se taille, et je vois que je déraille, et je reste dans mon trou à faire des petits trous, des petits trous, des petits trous, touche des petits trous, 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 des petits trous. Je suis le poinçonneur des lilas, pour un valide changer opéra. J'en ai marre, j'en ai ma claque de ce cloaque. Je voudrais jouer la fille de l'air, délaisser ma casquette au vestiaire. Un jour viendra, j'en suis sûre, où je pourrais m'évader dans la nature. Je partirai sur la grande route, coûte que coûte. Et si pour moi il n'est plus de temps, je partirai les pieds devant. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, touche des petits trous. Je fais des trous, des petits trous, prendre des petits trous. Y a quoi devenir dingue, de quoi prendre un flingue et se faire un petit trou, un petit trou. Et se faire un petit trou, un demi-petit trou, et on mettra dans un grand trou, et j'entendrai puis par les trous, des petits trous, des petits trous, des petits trous, des petits trous.
All right, so I don't play any instrument really well, so what I like to do is just play a lot of them. I'm going to do a song that I wrote called Un, deux, trois, which those of you who have learned some French might know means 1, 2, 3. And if you're wondering how to play, if you ever come in a situation where you need to play accordion and toy piano at the same time, I know that happens very often. So when you play accordion, people think that you're kind of doing this, right? Opening and closing the bellows. Truth is, if you're playing a piano accordion like this and you're right-handed, what's moving is actually your left hand. Meaning that you can play the chords with your left hand and you can play another instrument, like toy piano. Or I've seen somebody play trumpet and accordion at the same time. That's pretty impressive. This is my song Un, deux, trois, and it's a song about love and math.
Pourquoi pleurer quand une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3. L'amour est cruel, mais une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3. Et j'évite les peines et les tourments. Nos dissonantes composant notre mélodie que peu à peu tu oublies. Mais quand le monde s'effondre, c'est les chiffres qui me guident dans l'ombre. Il ne reste plus qu'une page, un stylo pour t'écrire ces 2 ou 3 mots. Pourquoi pleurer quand une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3. L'amour est cruel, mais une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3. Je ne rêve comme en mathématiques de choses simples et logiques. Et si un jour tu m'appelles, les yeux tristes, le visage dans le ciel, pourquoi pleurer quand une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3. L'amour, une vie sans toi est aussi simple que compter 1, 2, 3.
Merci. So almost every song you know that was that's very popular has probably been translated to Mandarin Chinese, and it's famous in China with completely different lyrics, right? But this next song is the only song that I know of, maybe there's some others, but that's the only song that I know of that was originally in Mandarin Chinese and was translated later to English and became a hit in the United States. The name of the song is Make Way, and in English it's Rose, Rose, I Love You. And what's interesting is in the Chinese lyrics, the original Chinese lyrics, the song is actually about the flower, rose. And in the English lyrics, it's about a woman called Rose. So here it is. This is make way, Rose, Rose, I love you. One, two, three.
玫瑰，玫瑰最娇美，玫瑰，玫瑰最艳丽。窗下盖在枝头上，玫瑰，玫瑰我爱你。玫瑰，玫瑰情意重，玫瑰，玫瑰情意浓。窗下盖在荆棘里。玫瑰，玫瑰，我爱你。心的诗人，心的情意，上街的光辉小大地。心的诗人，心的情意，上街的光辉小大地。玫瑰，玫瑰情意重，玫瑰，玫瑰情意浓。窗下盖在荆棘里，玫瑰，玫瑰。Rose, Rose, I love you. Rose, Rose, I love you. With an aching heart, what is your future? Now we have to part. Standing on the jetty as the steamer rolls away. Flower of Malaya, I cannot stay. Make way, oh make way for my eastern rose. Men crowd in dozens everywhere she goes. In a rickshaw on the street or in a cabaret. Make way for Rose, I can hear them say. All my life I will remember Oriental music and you in my arms. Perfumed flowers in your tresses, lotus scented breezes and swaying palms. Rose, Rose, I love you, my ship is in the bay. Time to kiss you farewell, 'cause there's nothing to say. East is east and west is west, all worlds are far apart. I can leave you now, but I leave my heart. Rose, Rose, I love you. Make way, make way, oh, I need.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Again, my name is Jessica Fichot. We have one last song for you. And before we play it, I'm going to introduce the musicians again. We have Jonathan Ahrens on upright bass, Vincent Islas on guitar, and Chloe Fioranzo on tenor sax, clarinet, and vocals. This is a song of mine called Je sais que tu m'aimes, which means I know that you love me. It's actually kind of a stalker's love song.
Viens, ce n'est pas la peine de courir, pas la peine d'être si nerveux. Les saisons changent, les taux de mer, mais quand il s'agit de notre amour, je te promets que je t'appartiens. Tu m'appartiens et cela jusqu'à la fin de ma vie, de ta vie, de notre vie. Ah, viens ici, car je sais que tu m'aimes, ne le demande pas. Et à jamais, pour toujours, tu m'aimeras. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes, mais malgré toi, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Et nous voyagerons partout dans le monde, dans nos rêves les plus heureux. Car moi je sais que tu sauras qu'on existe, seulement l'un pour l'autre et pour toujours. Alors ne prétends pas que je me trompe, car je vois tout notre avenir si charmant pour si longtemps. Et maintenant jusqu'à la fin des temps, je sais que tu m'aimes, ne le demande pas. Et à jamais, pour toujours, tu m'aimeras. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes, mais malgré toi, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Alors pourquoi t'enfuir ou penser au pire? Qu'est-ce qui peut nous nuire quand on pense au jour où notre amour triomphera? Mon chéri, tu vois, quand tu le verras, il ne restera plus jamais nuage dans le ciel. Ou de limite à notre bonheur dans nos cœurs, il ne restera plus rien que la passion, nos chansons. Toi, moi, on compte le reste du monde. Car je sais que tu m'aimes, ne le demande pas. Et à jamais et pour toujours, tu m'aimeras. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes, mais malgré toi, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes, ne le demande pas. Et à jamais, pour toujours, tu m'aimeras. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes, mais malgré toi, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Oui, je sais que tu m'aimes même si toi tu ne le sais pas. Merci beaucoup and thank you to Greenbox.
Jessica Fichot and her band. Thank you so much. The sun had to come out with all of that beautiful music.